The Seismic 7, Chapter 20, Part 2. They're making one of us go in to drill again, I explained, to continue acting like this is news to Kinsey and Nolan. To set off a second eruption by connecting this old tunnel to the one under the first eruption site. Whoever goes is going to die, since they want us to drill straight into the magma. What the? No, Kinsey sputters. It's the only way, Wyatt says. They said they'd kill us all if one of us doesn't go. Raquel is more trouble, Greer turns to McNamara. Let's send her. No. See, that's exactly why we can't send her, McNamara says. She'll try to pull something. Bree might, too, for that matter. She gives me a distrustful look. I try to keep my expression neutral. Inwardly, I'm panicking. She knows we're up to something. She knows. Wyatt, on the other hand, will follow directions. Won't you, Wyatt? McNamara asks him. Wyatt nods. Yes, ma'am. I would too, Raquel says. You have to send me, please. She grabs McNamara's sleeve, her voice threatening to break. Nice try, but no, McNamara says, shaking her off her arm. I just find it hard to believe that all three of you are willing to die, Greer comments. So eager. We're probably going to die anyway, I say miserably. We've figured that out by now. But if there's a chance we can save everyone. Where's Todd and Eddie? Wyatt asks. Stiffen. One of the men grumbles. Those two, Thea and Styles, are on the hunt. Raquel lets out a sob of relief. They're not dead. The corners of my eyes sting as a shudder runs through me. For now. I won't go if they kill them, Wyatt says. Oh, good Lord, the man says. Radio them, now, McNamara snaps. The men step back from us, letting go of our shoulders while keeping a wall of muscle around the perimeter of the group. One speaks into his radio. I beam at Wyatt, unable to stop myself. He's the one, Greer agrees. No, Raquel protests. Kinsey lunges at Wyatt, hugging him. You're so brave, she sobs dramatically. You're an idiot for doing this, but you're so brave. Raquel drops her head, defeated. I reach out and squeeze her shoulder, not knowing what else to do. It'll be okay, I mouth at her, but she ignores me. I wish I could tell her how confident I am in Wyatt. I wish I could be that confident in the rest of us right now. It's going to be up to us to make sure he survives. Kinsey releases him, wiping at her eyes. They what? The man who was ordered to ask about Todd and Eddie says into his radio. Well, stop them. We're trying, the fuzzy radio call sounds back. I can only hope that's more good news for Todd and Eddie. My heart leaps for a brief moment, but then I'm brought back to reality as the men start piling gear onto Wyatt. When you get to the edge of the magma tunnel, call us, Greer instructs, handing him a radio. We'll need you to complete our evacuation before you finish your job. Perfect, I want to squeal. Greer and McNamara fall into a conversation with the men once they're through loading up. Wyatt and I turn to my companions. Wyatt and Raquel are staring each other down. Raquel, I know what I'm able to do and what I'm not, and I can do this. Wyatt shifts his tool belt on his waist. You have to stop treating me differently than the others. You think I haven't noticed, but I have. I know, she says. I know, I'm sorry. I can't help it. Yeah, you can. His voice is flat. I suck in a breath. Raquel hugs her arms around herself again. Wyatt, just be careful. Benny and Lucy died in there. Wyatt's expression softens. I don't want to lose anyone else, Raquel says. Wyatt hesitates, then nods. I'll be careful. After Raquel nods in return, I hug Wyatt, squeezing him tightly. Dr. Greer turns around, and I don't dare say anything or I risk tears breaking through. I hope he knows that I trust him and that I'm silently promising him I'll get him out again. After I let go of Wyatt, Kinsey and I step closer together, something unspoken passing between us. Todd is missing. Wyatt is being taken away. We need to stick together as best we can. Let's go, Greer says. McNamara gives Wyatt a handshake. You're one brave kid. If the world was made of people like you, we wouldn't have to do any of this. Every word out of McNamary's mouth makes me hate her more. Nolan steps forward just before Wyatt goes. He hugs him too. As he does, Nolan catches my eye over Wyatt's shoulder. I give him a nod, trying to reassure him that our plan will work. Nolan sighs, letting Wyatt go. A rumble goes through the ground, and I yelp. I can't help it. When the shaking stops, I clutch at my chest. If the supervolcano doesn't kill me, a heart attack will. Next to me, Kinsey regains her footing, clutching my arm to steady herself. I hold on to her even as the quake calms. Once the ground is steady, the men lock Wyatt into the pod. I can't read Wyatt's expression under his mask and goggles, but he gives Kinsey and me one final thumbs up before he and his pod are dragged into the cabin to go down an unseen tunnel. We'll get you out, Wyatt. We will.